A good community partner is one who cares and really is interested in solutions.
The willingness to be accountable to each other and blunt with each other.
And that really wants to work with others to expand their mission and their impact in the community.
To be good partners, you really have to understand that you're working for the same thing.
Detroit Public Television has the privilege and the mission to work with partner organizations every year in our community. Through these partnerships, we delve into important events, issues, and opportunities. Tonight, we celebrate the work we have accomplished with our partners this past year in our 5 categories of emphasis. Detroit Public TV promotes the arts and cultural community in Metro Detroit by engaging viewers with programming dedicated to performances and stories of arts and artists. From the world-renowned drama Downton Abbey, which hooked 8.5 million viewers last season, to our locally produced Detroit Performs, PBS and DPTV search for partners eager to share the experience of arts and culture and connect them within our community.
I bet they feel much better after.
For Downton Abbey's season premiere, Detroit Public Television partnered with the Maple Theater and the Michigan Theater to welcome more than 1,500 of the show's passionate fans. They experienced the spectacle of Downton on the big screen. Special receptions for major donors capped both performances. Our community played host to PBS's Antiques Roadshow, with not only the big event for 6,000 people at Cobo Hall, but also by fostering visits to area cultural gems. In addition, we celebrated the Metro Detroiters whose stories filled the show by holding pre-screenings at Meadowbrook Estate and the Detroit Historical Museum. Detroit and its metro area are overflowing with creative minds itching to showcase their talents. The most comprehensive platform to highlight these artists is our TV series Detroit Performs and its website detroitperforms.org. Local artists explain their craft in their own words, giving the viewer a remarkable insight into the artist's thoughts and processes. These segments are also shared with other PBS stations around the country. Many of the artists showcased on Detroit Performs have had outstanding recognition stemming from their appearances.
We received amazing feedback. DPTV audiences loved our segment both times it aired. We are now receiving requests for demo CDs and even for performances at important theaters across the state. We have also aired in Denver and Los Angeles and have received emails, hopes that we'll perform there, and requests for CDs from new fans in those areas.
DPTV's connection to the Sphinx organization goes back more than 10 years in televising their finals competitions for young African American and Latino musicians. Now, through the partnership, DPTV webcasts SphinxCon, a convention that brings together leaders looking to increase diversity in the performing arts. We also turned our cameras on the Detroit Institute of Arts to tell the story of this institution's importance to the public, as well as its successful efforts to make art more accessible to everyone. The result was the documentary Detroit Art City and the broadcast premiere of it with DIA luminaries in our studio.
Detroit Art City really started with the reopening of the museum and it being such a success and it having national implications. Detroit Art City obviously situates the Detroit Institute of Art in the situation of the well-known situation of the city of Detroit, the way that we had to rethink many things, and that when the new DIA opened, it turned out to be even more successful than we could possibly have hoped with its visitor engagement. But then the story gets dramatic again for the DIA because we were facing a financial crisis. There are certain things that a self-respecting and lively conurbation needs to have. Those things may change, but it's still the fact that if public television went away or if the DIA closed, that would represent a real hole in the texture of our community.
Our partnership with the Detroit Public Schools, through which we operate WRCJ 90.9 FM, brings live performances from the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, Michigan Opera Theater, and others into thousands of homes. Online, DPTV and WRCJ present webcasts of more than 25 DSO concerts each year. Arts and culture brings cities to life. Public support allows Detroit Public Television and its partners to keep putting a spotlight on exciting events, performances, and exhibits that are part of the rebirth of Detroit. And there are no citizens who will be more affected by this region's growth than our young people. In so many ways, we work to enrich their lives through our children and education category. Most obvious are the 10 hours a day of children's programs that educate, entertain, and inspire. But look beyond that. African American history was told in a fresh way by Henry Louis Gates Jr. in his 6-part series, The African Americans: Many Rivers to Cross. Popular with viewers of all ages, the program was designed to give young people an overview of African American history. DPTV and the Charles H. Wright Museum joined forces to hold training sessions for teachers to acquaint them with the many classroom resources that were developed along with this series. Among those resources are videos DPTV created to tell local stories of African Americans in Detroit's history.
Detroit Public Television, for us, is a perfect partner because many of the programs that you do really fit very well within our mission. And the educational programs that you do, we're an educational institution. The Many Rivers to Cross program was excellent for us. It was right in line with the exhibition that we have, and Still We Rise. It brought people into the museum that probably had not been there for a while and allowed them to see the museum in ways that they wouldn't have seen it. In addition to that, anytime that we get an educational product that's ready-made for teachers, that's fabulous for us.
Through DPTV's partnership with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and the American Graduate Initiative, we presented a community town hall with stories of tactics that are working to help combat the dropout crisis. We also worked with POV to tell the story of the Detroit City Chess Club, a program that helps grow the confidence of young students so they can succeed. For the 3rd year, Detroit Public Television aligned with First Robotics for a 6-hour webcast culminating in an hour-long broadcast of the Michigan State Championship at Eastern Michigan University to help advance education in science, technology, engineering, and math. In addition, our community engagement efforts like Preschool U and our PBS Kids service promote children's success in achieving educational goals that build the future. Our 3rd great area of emphasis is energy and environment. Collaborating with the Nature Conservancy, the University of Michigan, the International Joint Commission on the Great Lakes, and other organizations, Detroit Public Television bolsters interest and understanding of complex and critical issues. A new episode of Beyond the Light Switch will engage a national audience in the complexities and promises of the electrification of industry. And with the Nature Conservancy, we are proud to present regular webcasts and programs in the Great Lakes Now Connect series.
One of the reasons I love Detroit Public Television is they're really interested in the Great Lakes and interested in the challenges the system is facing. And DPTV is actually an organization that really cares about telling the full story. Great Lakes Now Connect has made the Nature Conservancy stronger because it's made us have to think about our work in a way that makes it understandable to others. One of the things that this whole experience with DPTV has brought is helping us understand the power of communications. The toolbox of communications for us is much stronger, much more expanded, and we're learning with DPTV, through DPTV, how to be more effective in communicating our issues so we can achieve more.
DPTV was also proud to partner with the Herb Institute at U of M to provide coverage of a recent conference for the sustainability of manufacturing. The in-depth coverage and reporting of important energy and environmental issues is also essential to the community's health. And health and wellness of people is our 4th category of emphasis. Currently in production, Ride the Tiger is a national public television documentary about bipolar disorder that explores the latest brain science and tells compelling stories of those who fight daily to manage their condition. The National Institute of Mental Health is closely involved with Detroit Public TV's latest project, including a list of scientists from the country's elite research institutes, such as the University of Michigan, Johns Hopkins, Carnegie Mellon, and Stanford. Taking on the challenge of a healthcare worker shortage in conjunction with new users of the system. The Detroit-Wayne County Health Authority continued its work with DPTV to produce the second installment in the series Vital Signs.
We approached Detroit Public Television about an engagement called Vital Signs and an opportunity to share with the community issues around health. We are really happy about this next series of Vital Signs, and it's around workforce. How do we prepare professionals to meet the health needs of our community? And we think Detroit Public Television allows us that opportunity to share that information. Detroit Public Television and Vital Signs has allowed us to take this magazine format and use it in community settings for focus group discussions. And you can use it in different formats that allows us to better share information with the general public.
Finally, we use the power of public media to help our audience understand the news and help create positive outcomes for Metro Detroit. My Week with Christy McDonald, Nolan Finley, and Pulitzer Prize winner Stephen Henderson brings in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, people, and issues facing Michigan. Detroit Public Television, with major funding from the Knight Foundation, helped to form the Detroit Journalism Cooperative. The goal of the cooperative is to tell a broader story of Detroit, its bankruptcy and rebirth, working with the Center for Michigan, WDET Radio, Michigan Radio, and the newspapers of New Michigan Media. The partners are sharing content, including frequent segments from My Week and American Black Journal.
By the nature of our work, we collaborate with media partners around the state whenever we can. DPTV is always there for new ideas. We've got radio partners. We've got DPTV as the television partner, Bridge Magazine doing in-depth traditional journalism. It's the best example yet of how DPTV and the Center for Michigan are growing together, finding new opportunities together, and providing great service to the public. DPTV is not only great at reaching the community through your high-quality television, but also you have a network of citizens out there that want to come to events. That's exactly what the Center for Michigan likes to do with our community conversations. We hold more than 100 every year. By working together, we're able to reach more people in deeper ways than either one of us could separately, and that's just the definition of great collaboration.
Similarly, in partnership with the Detroit Regional Chamber, the Mackinac Policy Conference is one of the premier events we offer to the public and other media outlets each year, together taking formerly limited policy discussions to people everywhere. Detroit Public Television cherishes and honors the partnerships and relationships built through these and many more associations. We value your support that allows us to partner with organizations throughout this community to serve over 2.5 million viewers, listeners, and online users in Southeast Michigan and across Canada each week. It would not happen without your support. Thank you.